All right. Hello, guys. So first, why don't we start with like a check-in? How are we feeling today? How did our intentions go yesterday? Were we able to be kind to ourselves? And to really look at what we were doing and discover ourselves and what we want and what we don't want. How did that look for you yesterday? I know for me, like at the end of the night, I was able to take a step back and really look at everything, and I felt good about yesterday. I felt really good at the end of the night. I made progress in ways that were very small, but or start in the way that I'm communicating with people and setting my needs, putting my needs out there as to what I want and don't want in my life right now. And setting boundaries and spending time with people, quality time with people, instead of that superficial stuff. Those are the things that I know I want for myself today. And part of discovering myself throughout this is acknowledging that stuff and telling people and communicating it to those that are in my life. So how did it look for you guys yesterday? Anybody that watched the video yesterday and partook in it and, got to actually, follow through with that stuff? Did you journal last night? How did it go? How did your day look? Really just take a moment to reflect on that stuff, and really process it before we dive into today's task at hand. I was thinking about it this morning, and I've felt really good the past few days, and it's been, getting up and working out and doing something different than that isolation that I was sitting in my first few weeks, and really like in that wallowing and self-pity nonsense that I get caught up in so quick. Taking it easy on myself and, reaching out to other people. So for me, getting back into working out and, being on here and being positive about it and really looking forward to these things. And it really comes down to my communication with myself and my communication with other people. It's really made a difference in my life today. And it's only been a few days, and I already feel so much different and so much better. One of my friends said to me last night, that she really is hoping to come out different from this, and she already feels some significant changes happening within her. And I can relate to that a lot. I can really relate to that. I feel a lot of changes happening in me already, and I do have a hope that I come out of this different. It's the same idea as when I went to prison and I sat there for a few years. I did that because I wanted, this is a puppy, Sadie, hi. I did that, and I sat there in that time because I wanted to come out different. That was my one goal, was to come out different. And I'm looking at this the same way. I want to come out different than what I go into this as. I want to be a different person, a better person when I come out of this. So I really take pride in doing what I do with you guys every day and talking to you guys about it and having you guys reach out to me, because it helps me grow and change too. I hope that you guys are, and it also helps me. So yeah, take a minute and reflect on that today. See how you did yesterday before you start your intentions for today. Really take the time to look at that and mark your progress. Give yourself some credit. Like I said, mine have been small, subtle things, but they're definitely taking place and they're taking hold in my life, and they're starting to make a difference. So acknowledge the little victories, whatever they look like for you. So today, right before my workout this morning, I sat with my cards, and I picked out a card today, and ended up being knowledge. I actually have it with me here, but it ended up being knowledge. Hi, Holly. Hi, everybody else who hasn't shown me who you are, but hello. Thank you for joining in. And thank you for being here with me today. Yeah, but when I pulled that card, knowledge, this morning, the first thing that came to mind for me was the fact that, we have a lot going on in the world right now, and I think that because of what's going on in the world, we're losing sight of other crises that we have. Hi, Nellie. Other crises that we have in the world and have always been there. Like for me, it primarily went to the opioid crisis, and recovery itself. And the fact that, a lot of light isn't being shed on that, a lot of help isn't there for people that are struggling right now. And that's because we're trying to be safe as a society, but it really, it doesn't negate from the fact that that's still happening out there. You know, there are a lot of people struggling. There are a lot of things going on, you know, outside of this coronavirus stuff. Thanks, Holly. I did this in the most responsible way possible. I had to cut the hair, but, you know, so yeah, I think there's like a lot of stuff that is going by the wayside, you know, and it's really, when I heard knowledge this morning, I thought about the fact that like we have to stay aware, you know, and stay knowledgeable of these things that are still going on, you know, still going on, and put light on them. Use our voices, like Yana talks about all the time. Use your voice, you know, to acknowledge the fact that there's still all these crises happening outside of this virus right now. You know, as a society, we're doing the best that we can to fight the coronavirus, but what are we doing for anything else, you know? Really, what are we doing? Hi, Alex, I miss your face. So the first reading that I have is from the Staying Strong book, the one I love so much. And the one today, it goes with knowledge. You know, these things kind of just fall in place every morning for me lately, and I love it. I absolutely love how it plays out like that. So she says, April 14th, how wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. I was walking by a homeless man recently, and I watched as people walked past him. It made me so sad, so I stopped and talked to him. After I introduced myself, he told me his name was Denny. We started talking and laughing as he told me some jokes. After a while, he started to tear up and thank me. I asked him why, and he told me it was the first time in days that anyone had spoken to him. He said he was so happy and thankful just to have the interaction with another person. I couldn't believe how such a simple thing brought both of us so much joy. I will never forget that moment. Goal for today: do one thing for someone else today to make their day brighter. You know, and I read that after I picked my card this morning, and what came to mind is, you know, all the people that are out on the streets right now. You know, it's a little chilly out here, but the sun feels great, so I decided to be outside. You know, all the people that are on the streets right now, and like a lot of us do drive past, you know, and we don't even think twice about it. But talking to one of them at one point in my journey, they told me like the worst experience that they have is when somebody doesn't even acknowledge their existence. Like even a simple look and a nod in their direction makes them feel better about themselves in that moment. You know, so knowledge of that, of knowing that we can just look and smile and change somebody's day, how powerful is that? You know, how powerful is that? You don't even have to do anything. Just look at them and smile, you know? We don't know what they're going through. You know, we don't know like what their day looks like that day or what struggles they have in their lives. That smile might be the only one they get throughout the entire day. You know, and it's the same as Chelsea yesterday brought up my Wegmans problem. You know, I always encounter my most unspiritual self in Wegmans. Driving and Wegmans are my two things where the unspiritual side of Keirstan comes out. You know, and I get irritable and stuff like that. But I've really been trying to do my best, you know, to really understand that people are doing the best they can, regardless. You know, somebody cuts me off with their cart or smashes into me or doesn't let me through or, you know, is rude to me, or somebody's cutting me off on the road or whatever the case might be. I'm really trying to understand that they're doing the best they can right now, and I don't know what they're going through. You know, I don't know what they're struggling with at that moment in their lives at all. You know, I don't know that. And I'm human, you know, I fall short all the time. But like, you know, knowledge of the fact that we don't know what people are going through, and knowledge of the fact that your attitude is so powerful on other human beings. I mean, it's powerful within yourself too. You know, is it not easier to just be happy and be content regardless of what's going on? You know, let it go. Know that you're doing the best that you can in the moment, and just be the best version of yourself regardless of what your surrounding circumstances are. You know, regardless of who's cutting you off or who's being rude to you in the store. You know, just putting a smile on, saying have a good day, and moving on, you know. Moving on. You know, road rage. Holly said I had horrible road rage. I used to have really bad road rage. And as of now, what it looks like is I still continue to drive the same, but I'm yelling about it the whole time. Like in my head or out loud, you know, not at anybody, really just yelling towards myself. But, you know, that's progress for me. I used to have really bad road rage, and I would cut people back off, or I'd tailgate them or whatever. You know, I'd flip them off, like whatever the case might be. It doesn't look like that for me today. I've made progress in the fact that, I can understand that person maybe really feels like they needed to do that, that they really needed to cut me off or be rude, Maybe they needed to do that today, and I just happened to be the bystander, in that. It doesn't make what they're doing okay, but what it does is it makes us okay, and it brings us to a point of understanding that everybody's human. Everybody's human, and they're all fallible, and everybody makes mistakes, and just being compassionate and understanding and knowing of the fact that, we have our own struggles. So what makes us think that other people don't have those same struggles or their own struggles, really being mindful of that stuff. So really, what my focus is today is being knowledgeable of that, of how our actions impact others and the way that we can turn those thoughts around, and really change our perspective on life, and the power that comes with that, the power that comes with knowledge, knowledge of what's going on in the world and other people's struggles and our own perception of those struggles. And there's so much power in that. Like I said, we can change somebody's day, or we can break somebody's day. That one act of, unkindness can really impact somebody too. So what choice do you want to make today? What impact do you want to have on somebody's life? For me, I want to have that positive impact on somebody's life. Even if in the moment I feel like they don't necessarily deserve it, I still want to be that person that is there for them and, brightened their day in any way, whether it's being kind, thanking them, having manners, or just, smiling, like I said in the beginning, just a smile, a simple smile and a nod to those people on the streets and stuff like that. We don't have to stop and talk to them if that makes you uncomfortable, but we can be kind, we can be kind and understanding. So I have another reading here, and it's from the book. I've read this a few times. I've been thinking. Holly said it's all internal. Absolutely. Even everything that we do or say to somebody comes from what we're feeling on the inside. Everything that, any way that we treat somebody. If you think back to times that you were rude or you were really, weren't understanding to somebody, what was it that was going on with you? They're not doing that stuff because of us. It's not personal. Somebody's not rude to you because it's personal. They're rude because they have their own things going on. They have their own struggles. They're stressed out. They have 3 kids at home, whatever the case might be. They're really struggling in that moment. So let them do it, and just be as positive as you can be in that moment. For yourself at the end of the day, it's so much easier just to be kind and compassionate than it is to be angry and miserable all the time. That takes so much energy, and it takes the light from the world, really. So this reading is why it takes courage to care. A lot of us forget, how hard it is to be that compassionate and understanding. It is really hard to do that, to take the humanism out of it, and turn it into something positive. Take your struggles, set them aside, and really focus on what is happening in the present moment. Yeah, I know for me that it is really hard for me to set my stuff aside sometimes. It's really hard for me to not let my internal or personal struggles affect what I'm doing in that moment, at the time. So, many see care as soft, but it's anything but. It takes courage to care. It takes passion to stand up for someone or something you believe in and care about. The quote above is from me. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about care, the word, the concept, the act of caring. I think about all the millions of women and men whose lives are devoted to caregiving, whether it's their profession, their family responsibility, or simply because it's who they are and what they do. I think about care on a personal level. When I had to have surgery, it made me dependent on the care of others. First and foremost, my children, Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher, cared for me. Then there were doctors and nurses whom I didn't even know, but who stepped up to care for me and care about me. All of this got me thinking about what care means to me in the most practical of terms. How do I define care? What do I myself care about personally, professionally, and politically? How do I show that I care? How do I know someone cares about me or will care for me? Can your boss really make you feel cared for? Can a political leader? Should he or she even have to care about you? I think so. I think care is one of the most valuable and important principles for a healthy family and for a healthy community and country. I think this is a good time for all of us to think about what care means to us. Many see care as soft, but it's anything but. Care is a tough, muscular concept. It takes courage to care. It takes passion to stand up for someone or something you believe in and care about. We must each balance our own idea of care with the world's often cold and sharp judgments that stop the tender-hearted among us from stepping forward. I'm dedicated to building a more conscious, caring, compassionate, and connected world, and I'm trying to do that while also not caring too much about what others think about me and how I live my life. If we want to find our passion and our purpose, we have to care about something deeply and yet not care about what other people say about what we're doing. Remember, those who judge you don't know you, nor do they care about who you really are. So care for yourself. Care for others. But don't care too much what others think or say. Get that right, and you can change the world. My mother used to say to me, if you have your health, you have everything. I would add that if you have someone who truly cares for you and about you, then you have something money can never buy. And if you yourself also care for someone, truly, honestly, selflessly, then you have the whole wide world. Thank you for caring about me and for me. And thank you for allowing me to feel cared for by others. Remind me not to overlook the simple but powerful act of caring. Let me be aware when people extend their caring for me, and may I extend it to others. And I really like that reading because it does take courage to care. It does take courage to stand up for what you believe in, and knowing the things that are out there that are going on in the world. And if there's something that strikes that passion within you, then stand up for it. Use your voice, use your body, use your resources to stand for that. And for me, it's the same idea. She says, hold on. I'm dedicated to building a more conscious, caring, compassionate, and connected world. I can relate to that so much, so much. And I'm trying to do that while also not caring too much about what others think about me and how I live my life. I mean, obviously, this is what I do. I work for ROCovery, and that's my passion. That's my heart. That's my soul. The recovery world, and all that means. It's not just about the opioid addiction, but it's about recovery in general and being better versions of ourselves every day. Whether that's like internal work, mental health stuff, traumas, any of that stuff that we deal with, the humanism that we deal with. I strive for that every day. I really do. And I do struggle with those times that what are people thinking about this? And, do people see me and automatically think that I'm a drug addict or whatever the case might be? Or, do they hear my story and they automatically think I'm a horrible person? I have someone in my family that we have very different views on life, and it's hard to talk to that person about that stuff. What are they thinking about me? But I've learned over the past couple of years that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're thinking about me, because that's what fuels me, and that's what keeps me doing the next right things. That's what keeps me going. Is I know this stuff is happening in the world, and I can't sit by and just watch it happen. I'm not that type of person anymore. I'm absolutely an active type of person who likes to get involved, and I get super passionate, and I give everything to it. And I really strive for that. I really do. Every day. Okay. Making sure we're on time here, but so I implore you guys to look out for whatever that passion is for you, and fight for it. Fight for it. Stand up. Use your voice. And just know that a lot of things are still going on out there. It's not just about this virus. It's not. It's very important, absolutely. There's so much more going on in the world. You know, there's so many people that are struggling with mental health issues right now that don't have anything, you know, any resources that they know about necessarily, like right on the top of, right at their hands, you know. We can be those people that help them, you know, and give them that friendly face, you know, or help them find the resources. You know, helping them get connected, helping them stay connected. You know, they call us, what do they call us? Recovery warriors, you know, and all of you are. Every single one of you is a recovery warrior, no matter what it is that you're struggling with. Even if it's not alcohol and substances, who cares? You're still a recovery warrior. You know, you're still trying to be the better version of yourself, and that is what matters. You know, so use that gift today. Use that gift today and reach out to somebody and give them support. And, you know, just acknowledge, like, what they're going through, whatever that looks like. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do it. It really does. It takes a lot of courage, you know, and I know that it's tough sometimes. I know that it's tough to put our personal stuff aside, but there's so much power in putting it aside and just asking somebody how they're doing. You know, you really can change the world one person at a time by doing so. We are living examples of that. That's what we do. You know, we don't tackle everybody at once. We change it one person at a time, one person reaching out at a time, one video at a time, one workout at a time. You know, that's how we do this. Knowledge of what's going on right now in the world. You know, there's a huge opioid crisis. There's a lot of mental health stuff going on. There are people that are scared in their homes and don't know what to do, you know, and we have the luxury of having our phones and having the internet and stuff like that. If you have that stuff, use it and reach out to those around you, you know, and it will help you in the long run. I promise you it will. You know, it'll change your views today. It'll change the way that you are seeing the world. You know, it'll help your mental health. So that's my advice for today, is to reach out to somebody, anybody. It doesn't matter. You know, if you know they're struggling or not, just reach out. I did that a few days ago. I did a huge reach out to about 40, 50 people. That's my job, so you don't have to do all that. But, you know, I reached out to a bunch of people, and there were people that came back to me that I would have never guessed were struggling. You know, but they had their own stuff going on. And that was me not having knowledge or not having compassion of the fact that people are struggling no matter what their lives look like. You know, everybody has their own version of struggling. So please, you know, pick up the phone, write a letter. You know, we have time, write a letter. You know, and I truly believe that it's a part of self-growth too. I really do. It has changed my life so much over the past year and a half now, you know, that I've been involved in doing this stuff. And it has truly changed my life. It has changed my recovery. It's changed my perspective. You know, it's changed who I am as a person just by reaching out to other people. You know, so I talked about yesterday being kind to yourself. You know, I want you to trust in yourself today. Trust in your power today. You are a lot more powerful and unique than you give yourself credit for. I promise you that. I know that was the case for me for a long time, and you guys helped me see how powerful and inspiring and unique I am. You know, and you guys are the same. Use that power today. Use that power to change the world. If we got nothing else here, I'm going to head out and get on to my, you know, powerful day over here. But yeah, you know, journal tonight. Let me know how you did tomorrow, or reach out to me personally. I'm going to attach some links to the comments of this as soon as we're off here. And for you guys to go to get resources through ROCovery Fitness as far as phone numbers and emails go, as well as our schedule. I'm using my phone, so I didn't have it right on hand, but I'm going to attach them to the comments. So if you want them, please pull the video back up and they'll be there, okay? And yeah, tune in to all our different videos and all of our resources, you know, and see our power, and then turn it and use it for yourself. You know, if you need inspiration, we're here. If you need motivation, we're here. But trust in yourself today. Be kind, be compassionate to yourself, to others. Know that you are powerful. All right. Have a good day, guys.